Okay, on this next access chapter, I want to explain some of the more difficult aspects of the chapter, only because, like I say, that there's areas in the book that really confuse a lot of people. So first off, what you need to do is to open the file that you started in the first chapter. So let's see, looks like I'm in the wrong folder here. I want to go to Documents and my school folder. And let's see, I did notice an error in my previous video. I told you to save in Unit 12, and I realized that was an Excel unit. But in Unit 13, here we are, and I saved it. There it is, Pratt Last and Associates. That's the one we just created. Now you need to modify this. So come and do a save as now. So go File, Save As, and when you do the save as, take it to Unit 14. So you put it in your Unit 14 folder, and that's your Pratt Last Associates as well. Just do that right in the beginning, and then you won't have too much trouble. So I'm going to skip over some of the easy queries in this assignment and just demonstrate the more difficult ones. Okay, the first thing it's telling you to do is to use a different design. Before you use the query wizard, now you're using the query design, and it's going to bring up a little bit different menu. And the reason why is because you want to be able to choose which table you're using. So make sure that you understand the table that you're using. And I believe this first one you're using the account table. Now the trick here, so once I've chosen the table, that's the only one I plan to use for this query. So I'm going to close it, and then I just need the account number. And I think that again, the instructions are a little bit ambiguous here. So really, all you have to do is I want account number, account name, amount paid, and the current due. So I can grab all of these just by holding down my Control key. Let's see, account paid and current due. I've got them, and now just pull them down. Let's see, it's not going to take it. Sorry. Let's try it this way. Double click. Nope. Oh, I guess I've just got to take it in the way they said. But if I double click it, it'll come in as well. Okay, amount paid, current due. I thought I could drag them in, but it didn't work properly. Now here you're just choosing the criteria, and in this one is JM323. And so you go ahead and you run the query, and that's the only one that you get. And the next step is probably the trickiest part to this one. You just need to save it as M02Q01. And you're going to be making a bunch of queries here. So this is just to give you a list, and you can see that there's your first query. Okay, this one we're going to create a new query now. We can close this one off. Don't really need it anymore. And we're going to now go to a new query design. Again, we're using the account table, and you can use account, oops, close this, account number, account name, the amount paid, and the current due. Now in this one we're using a wildcard. Wildcard simply means this letter, and the wildcard is the asterisk, and that's any letter after that one. So that one's a common one, again, that we use, and so it'll be anything with a K, and that's your query. They're going into this whole big save as thing that oftentimes confuses people. All you have to do is right click it, click on save, get the option, and M02Q02. Now, another tricky step that we can do is we can copy these queries and then keep using them because we're using the account query several times. So in this one, all I would do is right click it, click copy, and paste. And now I've got that one, but that one's supposed to be M02Q3, I believe. Okay, so now I'm at that query and I just have to modify that query. So I go into my design. That was with a right click again. And here I am, and I'm going to take off the wildcard. And in this one we add the city. And it's supposed to be Granger. And run it. There's that. Okay, the last step to this one is just they don't want the city showing. So all you have to do again is come back to the design and uncheck it. It still is picking up the city of Granger, but it doesn't show in the query. Ah, I named that wrong, that last one wrong. So what I need to do is to close this off. And it's supposed to be called, let's rename it. Okay, it's supposed to be called account city. So if you notice, all I did was right click to rename it. And so now account city is the name of that query. So I missed one step here. It's again in the design view. They're just telling you, okay, now you've tried the Granger deal. Now try to do one that you have to enter the city. And that is just to do a bracket. Not that kind of bracket, this kind of bracket. There you go. And it's enter city. And all that does is when you come in, it gives you a dialog box when you get ready to do the city. And now, and it won't show the city, but there's Wells was the first one. And that's what you're doing, is you're testing to see if you can make it work. But you'd have to know what cities were in there in order to get it to give you the information you want. Okay, here's your third query coming up. What you're doing again is you're copying this one and then paste it. And this one's going to be called here. And now we're modifying that again. What we're going to do is play with the design a little bit. Again, right click, design, and they want you to, you're taking off the criteria here. And the first one, you're just doing an amount due of 0, running the query, and you see what happens. Okay, let's start query number 4. So let's copy again. Go to number 4. And 4. And this one, let's go down to our design view again. And we're taking off the K. And this time we're changing it's supposed to be account, the account number. Oh, wait a second, let me see. Maybe I'm using a different table. Okay, true confession. They switched tables on me. So let's see what we've got here with the table names. No, I want to see the table names. I want the new table. So I think probably the easiest way to do this would be to close out this one. Say no there. And let's go ahead and create a new one from the query design and use the account manager table. And this time, let's save it. under the correct name. M02 Q, let's see, Q04. Well, that's cute. Okay, there we go. And yes, we're replacing that one because I mixed up the tables. Okay, so we want the account manager number, the last name, the first name, and the start date. Where is it? Right there. Okay, I just double clicked on each one of those to get them down. And then what we're doing is we're saying, okay, let's take a peek at this. There's your start dates. But we're going to change it to the start date should be greater than 1/01/2015. Okay, so that's considering a comparison operator. So I'm just saying that, okay, their start date has to be greater than that date. So let's see what happens now. And I get the two folks. Okay, so this next query is using the account table. So I can go back and copy that previous table that I used that was for account. And let's go back and use it again. And it was this one. Copy again and paste. And that one is number 5. Okay, let's open her up. Go to right click, design view, take off my K. And I think there's some fields I need to add. So I have account number, account name, amount paid, current due, and account manager number there. Okay, so now what we're doing is we're building an AND condition. And with an AND condition, they're on the same line. Okay, you have different types of conditions you can build. You can build an AND condition or an OR condition. OR would mean that both things apply. An AND condition means that that in order for it to work, both of these things have to happen. And so they're saying the current due has to be over 2,500 and the account manager has to be a number 31. Okay, so if you run this, you can't set criteria before you add a field. Oh, for goodness sakes, I see what I did. I put this in the wrong area. Okay, so it's 31. Okay, so now let's run it. And let's see what that would have looked like if I'd done it as an OR condition. Okay, so I'm going to come over here and pull my 31 down below. That's an OR condition. And see what it looks like. See, I get everything that was over that dollar amount or the 31. Okay, see, so I even got some that were at 0. So it just has to do that the AND condition, both of those conditions have to apply and they're on the same line. So we're back to what it should look like, and that's what it should look like. Well, I guess I need to read ahead in the book because the next one is the OR condition. And so let's just copy it and paste and just change the name to number 6. And here we go. So now we're on number 6. Right click, design view, and oh, for heaven's sakes, I should have here. Better make sure that my 5 is correct because I thought that's the one I copied. Okay, so let's go here, and that should be the current due account manager, and we're doing, oh, I think it's because 5 wasn't saved that it did that. Okay, so we're doing greater than the 2,500, and then we have the OR condition, which would be the 31. Okay, let's run it. All right, now let's go back and save and make sure that all of this, if I do a close all, it will save everything. Yes, 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 yes. Now let's go back and look and make sure those conditions are in there. Yeah, see, there's the AND condition, and Here's the or condition. Okay. Okay, so this one is one of those that the instructions is just terrible, or just terrible. So we're just going to copy again this, and we're going to come in the paste, and this is supposed to be query number 7. And this is where the instructions get really weird. Okay, so I need to make sure that I close these off because these are already saved. All right, so it's saying, okay, let's go back to our design view, and what it's doing is it's telling you, okay, now come in here and get rid of all these with this select thing going on, which you can do. I mean, you just have to well, it's just tricky to do this, then hit delete. Okay, so we're doing the city, just pulling them all in. And the first thing they want you to do, of course, is to view what you just did. And then you're coming in and you're doing some changes to it, of course. So let's go back to design view. Okay, so your city is going to be sorted in ascending order. And over here you can get real specific. And this is your property sheet. And in here what you're doing is you're coming in and you're saying, okay, properties. Okay, if you look, a couple things. If your property sheet isn't showing up over here, it's because it's been closed right here. And so what you need to do is just click on property sheet and it'll come open. Notice that this is for the city field. If I click in a blank field, I get more options. And this is where they want you to change this to a yes on the unique values. And what that does is when you run your query, see, you only get we don't get any duplicates in the names of the city. And that's what they're trying to get you to do with that unique value option. Okay, we're ready for query number 8, and we're still using the account query. So let's just copy here and paste and call it number 8. And then right click, go to design. All right, so now let's see what we have going on here. We want account number, account name, account manager number, and amount paid. So we want the current due off of there. Let's just cut it. And we take off the number. And the amount paid is supposed to be on the other side. So I'm just going to highlight it and move it over. And that was a click and a drag. We want account manager number in ascending order and account paid in ascending order as well. So this one's ready to run and go. So you can see that, okay, the numbers are in ascending order, but the second criteria was the amount. So that's the reason why 35 comes up with a 0 in the 35 category. I'm going to save these two queries so that I make sure that I got them in my memory, and close. And then I'm going to make another copy because it's the next one. So we're going to copy and paste. And this again is number 9. And okay. All right, so now I'm in query number 9. And in this one, I want to go back to my design view, and I want the account number, account name, the account manager number, and the amount paid. So it's the same query, but they've added some extra criteria. And in that, what you need to do is to come up into the design tab in this one right here, and instead of return all, you just do 5. Now this one really throws people off, and I've had multiple people have trouble with this one. So let's look at see what happens with a regular run. Okay, and we only want 5. So what we're going to do is come back to our design view again, go in and choose the return is 5 of them. And it's ascending, so it'll be only the amount paid. And I believe, let's see, I think we're supposed to change some of the criteria a little bit. Nope, double checked it and it's still ascending, and there's my 5. So if I run, it'll just be the top 5 numbers and we're good to go. Okay, the next one is really different for you. So I just want to save and close this one. And let's get started. We're creating and we're going a query in the design, and we're going to use both of the tables. And early on in the first chapter, they mentioned this about these tables, okay, and why they set it up a certain way. Now I'm just resizing these so you can look at all the fields a little bit. Now notice that these two tables are related to each other, and it's on the account manager field. When we did the first time, when we brought the accounts in, we used the account number as the primary key, and this one, when we created it from scratch, we used the account manager as the primary key. Now we have a relationship between the two, and if you look, let's see if I can get into the relationship. It's showing that only will include rows from the joined fields. Now, this particular menu can get extremely complicated depending on what you want to do in Access. They're not doing extremely complicated in this textbook, so you're just doing a basic join, but I want you to understand how the join works, okay? Because what you want to do is to make sure that you have one common field. In this case, the common field is the account manager number field. Okay, and remember it has unique numbers. Now the next part is just making sure you've got the right table for which area. So right here we want to do from the account manager table, we want to do the account number. That was the first item. Then that's supposed to be ascending. And then we're going to do the last name from the account manager there, and the first name from the account manager. Then we're doing the account number from the account table and the account name from the account table right here. There we go. And the account number is supposed to be ascending as well. Now when we run it, we find that it's working, and if you wanted to expand this column, of course you could expand it a little bit by just pulling out the side menu. Now this one has a different name, so they like to mess with you a little bit here. It's called the Manager Account Query. Okay, there you go. Now they're having you mess with the join a little bit. So you're coming back to your Manager Account Query, and you're going to the design, and there's your join. Okay, now remember, if you double click that join, it gives you this menu. And they're saying, okay, now we want you to change this. I want everything from the account manager. Wait, oh, left column is account manager number. What they want you to do is change the option to include all records from account. This should work. And the other one we had, the tables were just reversed, but it should work just fine if you do number 2 and we come on OK and take a view. Let's see. Okay, so this is a good example because when I did this, remember my tables are reversed from the ones in the book. So I don't want all records from account and only those records from account manager where the fields are equal. I want all message records from account manager. And so that was a little bit different in the options. So when I click OK now, even though my join properties, my left table is the account and my right is the account manager, if I run it now, I get the results that the textbook's asking you to get. So that's a good example to show you how these join properties work. Next step is for us to get and create a report. So we're doing a report, and this one is, we're using the report wizard. So we're coming up and we're going report wizard. We got the query saved, yes, and it is on that one. So good. Now we can tell it which fields we want to bring over for this report. And I believe we're bringing over, looks like we're bringing over all of them. So might as well just click here. Okay, and we'll go on to the next one. And next. And do you want to add any grouping? Well, let's see what it says on the grouping in the instruction. It actually, the only instruction that it says is to make sure it says that it's tabular, and it looks like it is. Let's see, does that say? Okay, so we're coming here, and what goes in ascending order? Okay, so all we need to do is, since it's already sorted in the query, we don't need to put anything here. And it's tabular, and next it's portrait, and this is the manager account query, and we're previewing the report. Okay, so it is coming up 8.5 by 11. Looks okay to me. They're just trying to get you to go into the print preview if you want to take a look at it. I could just go to print, and I don't want to print it right now. I just want to do a preview. This is technically a preview right here. Oh, I'm in it, so I just need to click on close print preview. Okay, we're good. And then if I wanted to change anything, it would maybe make those margins out, but they look fine. Okay, now we're making a form. So we're coming in on the create option, and we're going to the form wizard. And again, we're throwing over all the fields, I believe. Yep, and let's go next. And this one is supposed to be, okay. I went to the form wizard and I should have gone to the easier one, which is just go into form and it creates it for you. And then you need to save it. Okay, this is your last step. Let's go through and close all of these. And what you want to do is export this. So we're going to the external data. And this time we're going to the export to Excel. And we're just making sure that it's the manager account one. And they want you to check this box with the formatting and layout, and you should be good. The only problem I see so far is the path here. I want to make sure that it's going into my unit folder. So I'm going into Cleves, coming back to my school, coming to Questa, and finding my unit folder. units, and this is unit 14. And there's my manager account query in Excel, and go. I don't think we need to save the export steps on this one, so we're out. So now they want you to do something and then tell you not to do it. This is always fun. So you come here and you go to design and you say, okay, well, the following, they want you to modify the manager account query. So we've got manager name, first name, last name, account number, account name, and amount paid. So we're adding a field, and there's the amount paid field. And then we're coming in and we're going, okay, let's make this greater than 2,000. Or 20,000 it is. And then we're taking a peek. Okay? And then it says, now, don't save that. Just run it. Click on no on this. And then we're going to click on no. Okay, for this next one, it's a little complicated, but I'm going to take this manager account query and I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to paste. Oh no, I used the wrong query, so I'm going to stop. I'm going to pause this again. I need the one that does not have the join. So this one is the this is just, I'm going to copy query number 9 and paste that one and rename it 10. Now this is one of the more complicated processes you need to do. So make sure you're paying close attention to this one. So I'm coming back into my query design. And what you're going to be doing is adding the amount paid and the current due. So I need to click here on current due, and you're going to be working with these two fields together to make another calculated field. And this is something that you have to do in the test for this. So you just need to make sure that you understand what you're doing. And so the idea is what you're doing is you're creating a new field altogether. So you're coming in this blank area and you're going to the zoom option and you're creating the field. Now, the book has you typing this in, but it's almost easier if you come here, instead of going to zoom, you go to build. And then, see, you can say, okay, it's from the account manager. Let's see, it was from this table, the account table, and I'm going to take the amount paid and I'm going to add with a plus the current due. See how much easier that is than to do it the way that they have you typing this in. And so that's a little complicated. Then what happens when you come to this side, you're supposed to give it a name for the field. You can't do that in this box. So when you click on OK, it just comes up as an EXPR, and that's what we need to change. Let me look, see what we got. Okay, there it is. That's where we need to change. It's under overexpression. Just a second. Okay, I see what caused me a problem. I needed to save this first because it wasn't showing the current due because I added that one. So when I come in here now and I go to the build, see, current due is there. And I can just type in total amount and then put in the amount paid. This should be without the EXPR in front of it right there. Total amount, okay. Then the plus and the current due. Let's get it, go. Now I should have the right result. There you go. That's what it is. It's a little tricky. That EXPR I had to take out, but I like it better than having to type all that in. You just get, you're more accurate. So let me go over that again for you. So first off, what I did is I saved the query. So we needed to make sure we saved it after we did the copy from 9, because then it has the current due in it. I come here and then I go to build, and I can put in that field name I want. Oh, total amount it is. And then we're going to say, okay, now that's the amount paid. And we're going to put that in. And I want to take out this EXPR because that's not what I want. I don't want it to come out in the front there. So I'm taking that out. And I want to put in my plus and my current due. Get it over there. Come on, current due. There you go. There's what I want it to be in that little box. And I click on OK. And now it works. I just realized there was one other thing that was happening with this. Let's go back to the design view. And remember, we did a return equals 5 on that one. So let's just do all, and then it'll be the right result. Okay, let's go to query number 11. So copy and paste. And this one is 11. So let's go back to what we're looking at, and we don't, oh, we should have saved this one before we left, but that's okay. We don't need those totals anyway. So over here, what we need in this one is just the amount paid and the account manager number. So we're going to go here and cut these. And we just want the account manager number over on the other side. And the current due is cut. Okay. So now what we're doing is we're doing a little bit of a extra feature. And so we have the sort option here, but what we want to do is create a total. Well, that one tricked me. I couldn't get the total option to come up unless I created it from scratch, so the copy wouldn't work there. So I'm just going to close this out and save over it. No. Okay, so now I'm creating a query from the account query, and now I can do this option because I wanted that extra field in there. Tricky, huh? And so anyway, so what we want is, this is supposed to be amount paid that comes in first. And I should be able to get the totals option now. Oh, there it is. It came in here. I didn't see it. And that's from sum. Oh, but it says group by. Actually, they wanted the average. So let's go with average. Then we want the account manager field. Double click it. There we go. And it's group by. And we're choosing the where option. And then we're choosing the criteria is number 31. And then we're going to run the query. So this should be saved as, save that M0211 and replace the one that I had. Okay, so let's take a peek. So here we are, and run. So that's all you get on that one. So I've been flipping back and forth here. This is what 11 is supposed to look like. Now what I did is I copied 11 and I'm getting ready to do number 12. Okay, this one we're grouping by manager number. So let's just get this out a little bit. So we're grouping by manager number, no criteria, and the amount paid is the average. And then we just need to run the query. Oh, these are supposed to be on the other side. So I should take amount paid and put it over on the other side. Click on that. You click on the title and then just move it. There you go. And for heaven's sakes, design view, I forgot to click on the manager number. Okay, here we go. Run. There, now we have the averages. Okay, we're going to do the Crosstab Query. So we're going to create a new one. Oh, let's close these out while we're doing save and close. So save and close and close. Yes. And now we're doing a Crosstab Query. And this time we get to use the wizard. Okay, so here we are, and we're doing Crosstab Query. Okay, we're choosing the table account. We want the state field. Okay, I'm going to start this one again. It took a little bit of playing around with to get it right. So again, Query Wizard, Crosstab Query, click OK, and then we're going to the next and choosing the state. And then we choose next again. And this time you go to Account Manager, go next again. And this is where you go amount paid and you choose sum. So it gets pretty tricky here. And then, it's not amount paid, it's current due and then sum. And then we're ready for the next again. And this is supposed to be called State Manager Crosstab. Okay, and finish. Pretty tricky. Okay, there you go. That's that one. With this last one, what you're trying to do is just get some different views of the tables, and so you can customize your views. I personally like this one. It's to each his own on that, and you just practice what they say in the book. Okay. So let's close out this. Make sure that everything's saved before you close. And this would be ready to submit. So don't forget to submit the Excel file with it because you did have to do an export. So this is a pretty tough one. And I think I've got some extra things in the one after this, the Lab 2, that you'll need to have for that particular assignment in your notes. Okay.